Have you ever gotten confused by a basic color wheel? I have to say there are so many on the market and some of them get so complex. They've got both sides doing something, and it's easy for a lot of us to just get really confused with the way it's laid out. But I just want to take a minute, if that's you, just to bring it back in and show you it's all basic. So let's take a look at a couple of different types of color wheels. First, this one here is very basic. It's nothing fancy, and I tend to prefer something like this. So it highlights, you see the triangle here, our three primary colors. And with those three colors, you can mix all these other colors in the spectrum of the rainbow. Simple. Nothing on the back except maybe a couple of color recipes, and it breaks down the primary colors and then what a secondary color is. And that simply is taking two primaries and mixing them together, and you get red and blue make a purple. Yellow and blue make a green. And then red and yellow make an orange. That's all it is. And you see there's this lighter dotted triangle here representing the secondary colors. And then we have something called tertiary colors, and that's simply taking it one step further. So I've got my blue and my violet, right, my purple, primary and secondary, and I mix it together and I get this. It's more of a blue-violet. It's a purple that is closer to blue than it is to red. That's all it's saying. And so I can do the same thing here and get a different shade of purple by simply using the red and the purple, mixing them together. And that'll make, if you can see the difference, these are two different shades of purple. This is called, they call this red violet, and this they call blue violet, and this is straight violet, but purple, okay? And you can see this purple is closer to the red. So it's a little warmer than this one is. And that's all tertiary colors are. Over here again, we'll do one more example. Orange, if I get the orange from mixing the red and the yellow, and if I want to make a different shade of orange, like a yellow orange here, all I'm gonna do is mix that orange with more yellow, and it makes it a lighter, more yellowy orange. But if I wanted to go deeper, I just take the red and I mix that with the orange, and this is definitely a deeper orange. And that's all that this is. So I love these because they're just simple. All right, but let me just break down one of these here, because this is what we commonly see, right, in any retail place for color wheels here. So this is also a great color wheel, but it has a little more function, and sometimes for beginners, if you don't find it confusing, it can be more helpful in the sense that it takes your colors here on the outside, and all this, it's got another circle. You see that, how it goes around, and it's got holes in certain sections so you can see what the color would look like. So let's do a few, for example. This yellow, if I mixed it with what they have here for red, it's saying that I would just get this orangey, this orangey color, right? Red plus yellow equals orange. And then with the green, I mix it with yellow, I'm gonna get a yellowy green. I have blue here, so if I mix it with the green, I'm gonna get a blue-green. This is all basic, right? And this here is simply adding white. This here is simply adding black. And what this allows you to do is move it and change colors. Okay, so here's something interesting. Now I have this yellow-green, or let me even take it here. Yeah, green and red. Now you may not know this, but we call these complementary colors. They are completely opposite on the color wheel. So all that means is if I take this one out, this and this are directly across from each other, completely opposite. They really don't relate to each other at all. They relate to the colors that are on their side, near them. So they're opposite. So when you add them together, they really don't mix. And this may look like a brown on here on the camera, but it's actually a grayish color. And so that's what happens when you mix complementaries together. And this blue-green, let's see, so they have blue, yellow, and red primaries. If you mix them with any of them, this is what you get. And then, of course, this stays blue, this with white, and then this with black. And it allows you to simply move the color wheel around and get an idea of what would happen if you mixed these colors together. And it's a great help, right? There's also a bit of a value chart here, from white all the way down to black. And that gives you a range of darkness to lightness of any color that you use. You can compare it to this. And they also have something here on the back. And all this is breaking down the different shades. Okay, so essentially, you've got your pure orange here, and this is a tint, so an orange with white mixed in it. This is a tone, an orange with gray mixed in it, and a shade is orange with black mixed in it. And so it does that for each color, so it gives you an idea of what they look like. And although they can look a little intimidating at first, they really can be helpful. However, here's what I'd suggest. I would say make your own color wheel. I did this, and all I did was make little circles go around, right? There's 12 circles here. I laid my primary colors in the same fashion as this, right? Where, except I flipped mine. I always do this color on this side. For some reason, these guys have it on this side. I'm used to this. But all I did was take that and I took the primary colors and I put them in the spots. I connected them with the triangle so I could see easy their primaries. And then I mixed my secondaries. So the secondaries are in the middle. So red plus blue got me this. And when you don't dilute it with white, it's actually a very dark purple. And so I decided to leave it in its pure form. And then the tertiaries are just mixing this. And you can see it's similar, right? It's very similar. And depending on the shade of blue, the shade of red, the shade of yellow, you're gonna get different variations, and that's okay. But these are called tertiary colors, and they come from mixing a secondary with a primary. So we have our 3 primary colors, and then our 3 secondary colors, which makes another triangle, and then the tertiary ones fill in all the other spaces. And that's all it really is. I recommend that you make yourself your own color wheel, even though you may have one of these. There's nothing like going through the exercise yourself and just playing with color, because you get so much more comfortable with it. And you realize, oh, this isn't so bad. Okay, so if I want to make this a little brighter, I use this blue instead of that blue to mix with the red, for example. Anything you mix, it all comes down to playing around with it and just getting comfortable and seeing. And you know, when you get that under your belt, like, this stuff never changes. So that's the great part. You'll get so much more comfortable with all the colors that you mix.